Hello, my name is Mason Stein. I'm doing the Israeli-Palestinian conflict for my ethics project. And so the moral issue I'll be attempting to answer is, should Palestine be given statehood from Israel? So a brief overview of this topic is that the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been an issue marked by power struggle and fanatical violence for decades. And the very beginning roots for their struggle can be traced all the way back to biblical times, when Moses led the Jews out of Egypt into Palestine. So Palestine would eventually fall under the control of the British, who under the Balfour Declaration of 1917 supported the Jewish occupation of Palestine despite the majority of the population being Palestinian. However, when the British mandate over Palestine expired, the Palestinians would have to wage war to prevent land that was designated to them who from being taken over by the Israelis. However, the Israelis eventually prevailed over the Palestinians. Thousands of Palestinians fled into Arab nations, and they were seen as refugees from a nation they once called their home. And coexistence between the two sides has resulted strongly in favor of the Israelis, much more to the detriment of the Palestinians. My answer is that the Palestinians should be granted their statehood from Israel. And my reasons why is that if the Palestinians are given their statehood, it would mean less fighting between them and the Israelis, since both parties would have independent states that they could run. And it is the morally right thing to do, since the Palestinians, in my eyes, have been treated like second-class citizens and have suffered more as a result because of the Israelis. And so this can be seen in this demographic, which shows since 2005, 4,006 people have been killed because of the conflict, 168 being Israelis and 3,838 being Palestinians. This showing that the Palestinians have obviously suffered more at the hands of the Israelis in the conflict, more so than the Israelis have. And so these images of an exploding building and women and children cowering show that countless lives have been lost on both sides, showing that action clearly needs to be taken in order for this conflict to stop, as seen here. However, there are objections, such as the fact that the Palestinians are terrorists and should not be given statehood, as seen by Margaret Herons, who describes the government by saying, "Their government, meanwhile, is riven. Terrorists control one half of the territories, and the other half is controlled by former terrorists." And another objection is that the two sides will never agree to terms, as seen by Gale opposing viewpoint, which shows that throughout 2012, 2013, 2014, Hamas and Israel exchanged fire with deadly results. Ceasefire agreements were made and quickly ignored, showing that ceasefire agreements were made, but nothing happened since the conflict is still going on. And so another objection is that if the resolution of the Palestinian statehood was ever to come to fruition, it would be shut down by the U.S. and be rejected. And this is seen by John R. Bolton, who states that if the resolution passed, the U.S. should just ignore it and consider cutting off funding to the UN, showing that there is a sentiment of that, which would happen in the U.S. And so this graph does show that Margaret Heron's viewpoint on the Palestinians is not misjudged, and that the Palestinians have caused many Israelis to suffer through terrorist attacks, as seen here in this graphic, which shows 2002, a number of Israeli fatalities from suicide attacks by the Palestinians did in fact happen. However, my rebuttal to the first claim that the Palestinians are all terrorists is that they've actually always been under the shadow of the Israelis and have never really had a place to call their home. And this sentiment can be seen by Benin Hajar and Hajar, who state that the Palestinians, Arab citizens of Israel, have had a difficult struggle to maintain their cultural and political identity in a state that officially regards expressions of Palestinian or Arab national sentiments as subversive. And so this clearly shows that they've been treated as second-class citizens and they've been oppressed. They've never been truly free because of the Israelis. And so I'm not saying what the Palestinians have done is a right thing, but you can show a bit more empathy towards them, since their home was taken away by a group of people and they're just acting out of self-defense because they're being oppressed by these people and they only want to see their home be gained back by them. And another rebuttal is that to the two sides will never agree is that if we look at the bigger picture, we can eventually stop what is happening now. This can be seen by David Unger, who states, indefinitely prolonged occupation would be a prescription for more terror, more death, more economic pain on both sides, further radicalization of Palestinian opinion, and a widening schism between Israel's demography and its democracy. And so this clearly shows that the two sides need to need to come to an understanding that what they're doing, no one is benefiting from this. Both sides are killing each other and no one has gained anything. The citizens on both sides of the equations, Israelis and Palestinians, have lost lives, and clearly it shows that the Palestinians will just become more radical over time, and Israel's democracy will just keep going down and down if the conflict continues. And so the two sides, if they can see what they're doing, can come to an agreement and eventually stop this. And another rebuttal to this is that to the fact that the U.S. would immediately shoot down the Palestinian statehood is that the Palestinian-Israeli conflict is a very bipartisan topic in U.S. political parties. And this can be seen by Ben Meir, who states, Obama insisted the only solution to the Arab-Israeli conflict rests on creating two independent states, a Jewish and a Palestinian state, living side by side in peace while growing and prospering together as neighbors. And this is further shown in this graphic, which shows that the Republicans strongly agree with the Israelis, while the Democrats strongly agree with the Palestinians. This can be seen now with our current administration, led by Donald Trump, who is in favor of Israeli support, less so to the Palestinians. And it just shows that this is a very bipartisan topic, and that it depends on what party the president is in order for Palestinian statehood to become a reality. So the Catholic Church's view can be seen in the document Pacem Terris, written in 1963 by Pope John Paul II, which means peace on earth. And Pope John Paul II actually stated that the fratricidal struggle that daily convulses the Holy Land and brings into conflict the forces shaping the immediate future of the Middle East shows clearly the need for men and women who have conviction will implement policies firmly based on the principle of respect for human dignity and human rights. And so this clearly shows that Pope John Paul II saw that there's obviously a lack of human rights for the people in Palestine, and this is further elaborated in the Catholic Church by basically agreeing with my stance on things that the Palestinians should be granted statehood, as seen by the USCCB, which states, the following holy sees lead in recognizing the state of Palestine, addressing the security concerns of Israel and the right of all to live in safety, which shows, once again, the church is in agreement of my stance and believes that discrimination of Palestinians' human rights is inexcusable and want further human rights to be implemented, as well as a Palestinian state to be implemented, so that the human rights of the Palestinians will not be oppressed on by the Israelis. So in conclusion, action does need to be taken in order to stop this violence between the two sides, the Israelis and the Palestinians, and both parties during this conflict have done wrong. But most people can agree that the Israelis are the bigger offender in the matter, since they are the ones that kicked out the Palestinians. The Palestinians are just retaliating out of self-defense in order to take back their homeland. And so a thought for the future is that, is it possible for the conflict to come to an end? And to that I say yes, I'm hopeful there is, because in a UN report, it's stated that 138 members voted for Palestinian statehood unanimously. And so I obviously have hope in that there's a large amount of people, 138 UN members, who recognize Palestinian state, and there were only 41 members who abstained and 9 who voted against Palestinian state. And so it clearly shows that there is hope for Palestinian statehood to happen and that we can see an end to this conflict. We just need to see time and help the two sides come to negotiation and help them see that what they're doing, there's no victor in this conflict and only losers. Thank you for watching this video, and have a nice day.